what Randy likes to do, very much involved in local community type radio, and had his stations in Mattoon and here in Clinton, had some others elsewhere in Ohio and Florida for a time too. But he had passed away in the mid-90s, I believe. Clinton just, unfortunately, for whatever reason, didn't get the attention that it probably needed to keep the station up to snuff and keep it rolling the way along it needed to. Eventually, it just went off the air. Finally came the time where it could be purchased by someone else, and Senator Brady and his group came along and bought the station. And again, I wasn't any part of that until I got a phone call, I think in December of 2003, and Jim Sowers, who was the first manager for Mr. Brady at that time, he said, I've been talking to people around town and asking if there's anybody that could do the local high school sporting events on the radio for me. And I've had several people suggest you. Would you be interested in doing that? And I said, yeah, I'd be interested in doing the games. But do you have anything else? And he said, well, sales, you could sell. And so we talked for some time and worked out a deal where I would come in and I would help with the morning show, doing sportscasts, and then I would do sporting events, and I would sell advertising the rest of the time. And mid-January, I went to work.
That was Larry here on this WHOW 75th anniversary feature.
News time is 8 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. We start the morning looking at those rainfall totals from central Illinois, and let's start in Logan County, where in Lincoln, 3 3/10 inches of rain reported in Lincoln yesterday. I drove Route 10 into Lincoln yesterday, and my goodness, there was standing water all over the place. Standing water on roads off of Route 10 as you got into Logan County, and then standing water all over Lincoln as well. 3 3/10 in Lincoln yesterday. 3.5 inches in New Holland yesterday. Between Atlanta and Hartsburg in Logan County yesterday, nearly 3 inches, just short of 3 inches in northern Logan County yesterday. Here in DeWitt County, near Farmer City, 1.5 inches of rainfall here. We go south to Decatur in Macon County, just off the highway near Warrensburg, about 9/10 of an inch of rainfall in the north and west portion of Macon County yesterday. Not nearly as much rain there. Where the three counties meet, Logan, Sangamon, and Macon counties, about an inch of rainfall reported there. Northern Moultrie County yesterday, again, not as much rain. Just south of Hammond and Piatt County, about 1/2 inch of rain. And just south of Atwood, north of Arthur, about 3/10 of an inch of rainfall reported there. Now, the farther north you go, again, more rainfall reported there. Drove around Bloomington Normal yesterday on my way to a ball game. Not as much rain, but there was still a good amount of rain on the radar as I was heading north. About 1 9/10 inches in Bloomington and Normal, just off Veterans in the GE Road area. About 2 inches of rainfall reported there, just off Towanda Barnes near Ireland Grove. About 2 3/10 inches of rain in the Bloomington Normal area. Leroy, 3 1/4 inches of rainfall just north of Bellflower along 54 in the very southeast corner of McLean County. 2 8/10 inches of rainfall in that portion of McLean County yesterday. In the Mahomet area, just south of Mahomet in Champaign County, about 1 inch of rain. Reports hovering between 3/4, 8/10, 9/10, and 1 inch of rainfall in Champaign-Urbana yesterday. Over 1 inch of rain in St. Joseph yesterday. 1 3/10 just outside of Sidney in Champaign County. Danville, just over 1 inch of rain in Vermilion County. The far eastern portion of Douglas County, around the Newman area, 7/10 of an inch of rainfall. 4/10 in Shelbyville in Shelby County. Between Assumption and Pana on 51, about 4/10 of an inch of rainfall, just short of 6/10 of an inch of rain outside of Edinburgh in Northwest Christian County. 6/10 of an inch of rain in the Springfield area yesterday. In the western portion of Woodford County near Metamora, 1 1/10 of rainfall yesterday as well. Far western Livingston County, near Flanagan, just short of an inch of rainfall. Far eastern Livingston County, just south of Emmington, north of Semifinal, an inch and a quarter of rainfall in that area of central Illinois. But right now, the most rain coming out of Lincoln, 3 3/10 of an inch of rain, inches of rain in Lincoln and Logan County yesterday. And like I said earlier, drove into Lincoln last night, and my goodness, the rainfall, the amount of standing water, not only in Lincoln, but Route 10's roads off of Route 10 looked like they were flooded over. It was unbelievable. A lot of rain fell in the western portion of our listening area yesterday, and we'll continue to update those rainfall totals as more come in to cocoros.org. That is the Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network. cocoros.org, easy to use map and very interactive as well. Encourage a visit. Again, that's cocoros.org here for this morning. All right, let's get to the news on the WHOW Morning Show. News time is 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. New bleachers are coming to Clinton High School. The old wooden bleachers at the gymnasium have become very problematic for athletic and maintenance staff. And on the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, Superintendent Kurt Nettles told Regional Radio the upgrades will be very welcome.
So if those bleachers in high school have been there forever. They don't work that great anymore. Every time we push them in and out, especially on the visitors side, it's like cross your fingers and hope this works. Yeah, so we need to replace those, and we are in a position with our Health Life Safety Fund and the projects that we have going that we can afford this, and we're going to do that. And yeah, I mean, it's not cheap, but fortunately we're in a position where we can pay to have that done, and we're going to get rolling on that with the architect getting the bidder ready to go. And
according to Nettles, there were only 2 bids that came in for the work, and one bidder did not understand the full scope of the project. The contractor doing the work has informed the district they can help bring the cost down.
We only had 2 bidders. One of them messed up their bid, so they didn't notice some of the things that were on there that they were really going to have to cover. So when their bid came in, they're kind of like, hey, that's really a good bid. Well, upon further discussion, they realized, rats, we didn't see a couple of things there. You don't rebid, so they had a decision to make. They're either going to do the job for the bid they gave us, which they would have lost money or come close to it, not made as much, or they can say, we can't do it. Mm-hmm. And so they decided in the end to say, we can't do it. So you go right to the other company that did bid, and we said, here's what you bid. Here's, all the alternatives and things. And they actually said, well, we'll take it. We can work with you on these 2 things. So actually the price has come down a little bit from what they bid. So yeah, so we'll be in good shape with that and get that project rolling. I probably the day after graduation, we're going to start working on that floor. It's going to get a new finish, a new paint job. Gene Vance's name will be on it. It's going to look sharp. Perfect. I'm not going to say too much more because we want it to be a big show surprise. We also have to plan a ceremony for the naming of the court. But when that part of the project gets to a point where we can bring in the bleacher stuff or get that done first and out of the way and then do the floor, architect and people, all that are going to figure out the best way to do that.
Clinton Junior High School bleachers tops are going to be replaced this summer as well. It will be a busy summer at Clinton High School with the bleacher replacement, gym floor work, and the kitchen renovation all going on. If you live in the Weldon area, a nonprofit is inviting you to join them for a new Congregate piecemeal site. Shelley Tolley with OSF Piecemeal indicates this is a great opportunity for seniors to be a part of a group in a lunch setting. The Weldon Village Hall on Maple Street will be the site for this daily meal offering.
Our old supervisor, Dee Ryan, she was with us before COVID hit, and we were doing like one event a month. Mm-hmm. But now we're going to do it Monday through Friday. We're going to be at the Weldon, let me get it right, the Weldon Village Hall on Maple Street. We're going to serve lunches at 11 a.m. And she's really excited to develop that program again. Yeah. So we already have home delivered running through there. But if you live in Weldon, we definitely would like to help you out because we only have like 2 or 3 people in Weldon. So if you need home delivered meals or if you'd be interested in signing up for the site, just call 309-665-5900, and we definitely would help get you set up with that.
Tally, indicates the quality of the meals that are made fresh daily are nutritious, so seniors can be assured they're getting a quality meal when they come out.
The cost and the meals are the same as what the home delivered clients get. So it's a suggested donation of $3.50 a day. The difference is the home delivered clients get a donation letter each month.
Mhm.
So at the end of the month, the site supervisors turn in the attendance sheets, and then they get a suggested donation of, so it's about $70 a month if they eat all the meals. And then they just write a check or money order with what they can afford and mail that back in. At the sites, we have these little envelopes that we put on the tables, and then people put in there what they can afford, but it's a suggested donation of $3.50 a day. Baskets, and you just throw them back into the baskets. Nobody knows how much you pay.
There is a suggested donation of $3.50 for each meal, but Tolly stresses if you cannot afford that, they don't keep track of who contributes and who does not. She says there will be an envelope at the center of the table, and you can contribute to. If not, she says you should still enjoy a meal because Piecemeal wants to make sure seniors are well fed.
Meals. So like when I was there the other day, we had fried chicken that's not fried, so it's healthy.
Okay.
But it looks like fried chicken. It tastes like fried chicken.
All right.
We had mashed potatoes and gravy. It was so tasty. And then they had some mixed vegetables and a piece of bread and some fruit. And then every meal comes with a little pint of milk. So when I was delivering in Clinton the other day, it's just so funny because they get so connected with their drivers and they're so concerned. And so they're like, oh, where's Barbie at? Is she okay? What's going on? Why isn't Kaylee here? And I was just like, Kaylee just wasn't feeling, she was a little under the weather. She'll be back tomorrow. But they're very concerned. And they also like to tell me if I'm late or if I'm early. So I was like, you're a little behind.
Meals will be served in Weldon Monday through Friday. The site, again, is located at the Weldon Village Hall on Maple Street and will be served starting at 11 a.m. For more information, contact Piecemeal at 309-665-5900. News time is 19 minutes after the hour here on this Thursday. We'll have more for you coming back on the WHOW Morning Show.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City, our job is to help you and solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum, both in Clinton or Farmer City. We'll listen and find options for a different vehicle, or we'll give you repair options to keep that car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today in Clinton or Farmer City. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
It is 20 minutes after the hour here on this Thursday. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast, which streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. How many ag teaching openings are there heading into the next school year in Illinois? An update from Jennifer Waters, who serves as District 3 Coordinator for facilitating coordination in ag education.
So far, we have 27 job openings for next year. Last year, all in, all done, we were at 197 new ag teacher positions last year that we had to fill. So 27 so far doesn't seem too daunting. But for your listeners out there, if you are interested in teaching agriculture education at your local high schools or middle schools, there are opportunities as long as you have 2,000 hours of experience in agriculture and also 60 credit hours of college credit completed. So if you weren't an ag education major in college, that's okay. We'll still take you because we know they have a lot of great experiences out there. And, we have 30 graduates coming up this year for ag education, and we're going to need some more people to help fill those positions.
More information is at ilaged.org. That's ilaged.org. There are currently 355 FFA chapters in Illinois with 502 ag teachers, and this is National FFA Week. New legislation lets multiple occupancy restrooms be used by all genders. Currently, it's technically illegal to have a public restroom with more than one stall be open to all genders. A bill from Representative Katie Stewart of Edwardsville doesn't require the change, but sets standards for places that wish to establish gender-neutral bathrooms.
It lays out requirements for what is in that facility, locking mechanisms, privacy, disposal for menstrual products, all all those types of things that we need to have in restrooms.
Stewart says it's not a mandate, but simply allows for facility bathrooms to be open to all genders.
If they would want to create it, they cannot. So this is completely permissive and just, explains how to go about putting it in place.
The measure has been approved by a House committee and now faces a vote on the House floor. State law already allows single occupant restrooms to be gender neutral. Former U.S. Representative Adam Kinzinger, the Illinois Republican who broke with his party 2 years ago after the January 6th siege of the U.S. Capitol, has a book deal. The Open Field, a Penguin Random House imprint overseen by Maria Shriver, announced Tuesday. Kinzinger's Renegade, My Life in Faith, the Military, and Defending America from Trump's Attack on Democracy is scheduled for release on October 17th. Kinzinger, an Iraq war veteran first elected to Congress in 2010, became a leading GOP critic of Trump and his Republican colleagues after January 6th. He denounced Trump for inciting an angry mob with false claims the 2020 election was stolen and voted to impeach the then president. He was later one of two Republicans, along with Liz Cheney of Wyoming, who joined the House committee to investigate the January 6th attack last fall. He announced he would not seek re-election after the Democrat-controlled Illinois legislature approved new congressional maps that would have forced Kinzinger and a fellow Republican incumbent Representative Darren LaHood into a primary matchup. Kinzinger examines the forces that allow such an attack to happen in the first place, from the misinformation campaign waged by Fox News and a partisan media to the inculcation of extremism in families and faith communities, according to the publisher. The publisher described the book as part memoir, part searing examination. The book will offer an inside account of one of the most tumultuous events in recent American history and sounds the alarm on the devastating consequences of letting extremism go unchecked. The publisher also made note. Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski held an ag listening session in Springfield this week. The farmers in attendance told her crop insurance was most important to protect as a new farm bill is being debated. The freshman representative says she wants to hear from farmers and others in ag as she prepares to be a direct part of writing the next farm bill as a part of the House Ag Committee.
This is what I think the work of the committee will be, is to find out what we need to be doing to make sure that we're protecting crop insurance. It remains solvent. I think what you heard in the council were just some flags maybe around conservation and making sure that whatever is added to cover and crop insurance doesn't overall diminish the overall program. So I think that was a good flag, and that's exactly what this council is about, me being able to hear directly from those that are impacted by the farm bill in this community about the things that are concerning. And so that was a concern that was raised. So I look forward to learning more about it.
Budzinski is on the House Ag Committee and is sitting on 3 subcommittees. Consumers may have heard of carbon smart ag and carbon farming, but may not understand what this entails and what this means to them. Rod Bain has this report. News time is 28 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Thursday morning. Coverage of news today brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Coming up on 7:30 on this Thursday. Network news on the way. A look at that weather forecast. We have a look at local sports. A tough night for the Clinton Maroons last night as a magical season for Clinton comes to an end. They lost to Maroa-Forsyth in high school boys basketball regional action at Clinton High School last night. Still 20 wins for the Maroons on the season, a marked improvement from last year, even seasons past prior to that. So the Maroons on the up and up, but a tough night. They fall to Maroa-Forsyth into a regional semifinal action at Clinton High School. Also last night, Monticello, a big second half, propelled them past Iroquois West from the Prairie Central Regional. Monticello moves on to a regional championship rematch with Prairie Central, this time on the Hawks' home floor, a rematch of what was a classic last year that really did propel Monticello onto a runner-up finish in the 2A state finals last season. Also in sports here this morning, ISU and Bradley in action. Bradley continues their role in the Missouri Valley. Those stories and more next in sports.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. From the interior northeast to the mountains of Southern California, winter weather making its presence felt. Drivers have found themselves stranded on icy and or snow-covered roads. Power is out to hundreds of thousands of utility customers, and there have been many flight delays and cancellations. A suspect is in custody following yesterday's shootings in the Orlando area. It left 3 people, including a 24-year-old TV news reporter and a 9-year-old girl, dead. No end in sight to the latest flare-up of deadly Israeli-Palestinian bloodshed in the West Bank and the Gaza. He brought words of hope and encouragement, along with water and other essentials, to residents of East Palestine, Ohio. Former President Trump yesterday paid a visit to the scene of the toxic train derailment. Dow futures up 105 points. This is SRN News.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. In a game heard here on WHOW, Clinton fell to Maroa-Forsyth 54-51 in Class 2A Regional High School Boys Basketball Semifinal action from Clinton High School Wednesday night. Maroa jumped out to an early lead thanks to Grant Smith's 13 points in the first quarter. The Trojans held a 4-point lead after one, and it looked like they would hold on to it going into the half. However, a balanced late second quarter surge from Clinton put them in front at the break 32-31. Maroa-Forsyth would go back to Smith in the third quarter and build a lead they would not relinquish. The Trojans held Clinton to only 6 third-quarter points and led 44-38 going to the fourth. The Maroons fought back, outscoring Maroa 13-10 in the final quarter, but came up just short. Clinton's outside shooting cooled off in the second half, and the Maroons were only able to manufacture 2 trips to the free throw line all night, compared to Maroa's 7 for 10 from the foul line. Smith led all scorers with 26 points and grabbed 13 rebounds. Caden Maurer had 21 for the Trojans. They improved to 17-16 overall and face Bloomington Central Catholic Friday night for the regional championship at Clinton High School. Mason Walker led the Maroons with 16 points and was the WHOW Serve Pro of Piatt DeWitt County Player of the Game. Brooks Kluver and Dawson Graves each had 14 for Clinton. The Maroons in their first season under Hall of Fame basketball coach Vic Binkley, 24-8, quite an improvement over last season's 11 wins. In the early game at the 2A Regionals, BCC rolled Riverton 67-31. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, Monticello opened the second half on a 12-3 run and finished the frame on a 9-0 run, rolling past Iroquois West 63-38 in Class 2A high school boys basketball regional semifinal action Wednesday at Prairie Central High School. The game was tied at 24 at the intermission, and after the score was tied at 27 early in the third, the Sages finished the quarter outscoring the Raiders 18-5. The final 25-point margin was the biggest lead Monticello had on the night. Trey Welter and Tyler Bundy led the Sages with 13 points. Welter scored 10 of his 13 in the first half, but had 7 assists with some brilliant plays to help Monticello pull away in the second half. Bundy grabbed 5 rebounds for the Sages. Ray Colbert finished with 11 points, knocking down 3 3-pointers. Welter was the Serve Pro of Piatt-DeWitt County Player of the Game. Sam McMillan had 15 points, while Cannon Leonard scored 13 for Iroquois West. The Sages shot 53% from the floor and out-rebounded the Raiders 26-21. Iroquois West finishes the season 23-7 overall. Monticello moves to 17-13 and will get a rematch of last year's GCMS Regional Championship with Prairie Central Friday night at 7 p.m. Hear the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Ranked Mass 18 points helped Bradley roll Valparaiso 76-66 Wednesday night. Mast had 9 boards for the 22-8 Braves, who improved to 15-4 in the Missouri Valley. Jayshon Henry scored 15, shooting 7 of 11 from the floor and 1 for 3 from the foul line. Villatavanainen had 11 points, including 2 for 3 from beyond the arc, as the Braves picked up their 9th straight win. The Beacons fall to 11-19 overall and 5-14 in the Valley. Ben Cricky posted 17 points, 6 boards, and 4 assists to lead Valpo. Quentin Green had 16 and 7 boards. In addition, Kobe King scored 10 points. Bradley finishes the regular season hosting Drake Sunday afternoon at Ford. Tucker DeVries had 18 points in Drake's 82-51 drubbing of Illinois State Wednesday night. DeVries went 5 of 11 from the floor and 6 of 6 at the foul line to lead the Bulldogs, who go to 24-6 overall and also 15-4 in the Missouri Valley. Garrett Sturtz had 14 points and 5 rebounds. Roman Penn finished with 12, while DJ Wilkins also had 12. It was the 10th win in a row for Drake. Darius Burford led the 10-20 the Redbirds with 16 points and 8 boards. The Redbirds fall to 5-14 in the Valley. Seneca Knight had a double-double with 13 points and 11 rebounds for ISU, the 6th straight loss for ISU. They finished the regular season Sunday afternoon, hosting Evansville at 3. Patrick Kane keeps scoring as trade talks keep swirling. He and Max Domi had 2 goals apiece, and the Blackhawks erased a 3-goal deficit in a 4-3 come-from-behind victory over the Dallas Stars Wednesday night. Playing without the Western Conference lead for the first time in more than a month, the Central Division leading Stars lost their 5th in a row, and the past 2 are against last-place teams and have just 2 wins in their last 10. The Central cellar-dwelling Blackhawks won their 4th in a row, rallying from a 3-0 deficit in the second period. The first 2 goals came when Kane and Domi assisted on each other's tallies. Both finished with 3 points. Seth Jones had 2 assists against his hometown team. The Stars are among the teams presumably interested in trading for Kane before next week's deadline. It isn't affecting the 34-year-old who has spent all 16 of his NHL seasons in Chicago. Kane has 3 multi-goal games in his last 4 for 7 total points. Tyler Seguin and captain Jamie Benn scored 79 seconds apart in the first for the Stars before Jason Robertson ended an 0-for-21 skid on the Dallas power play, with his team leading 35th goal 6 seconds into the man advantage into the second. The Stars had a rush in the final seconds after pulling goalie Jake Oettinger, and a shot from Seguin went in, but replay showed it was clearly after the clock expired. A night earlier, Kane had a breakaway in the closing seconds of overtime against Vegas. His goal was ruled to have been after time expired. The Blackhawks would go on to win in a shootout. Domi's tie-breaking goal early in the third was unassisted after he blocked a shot from Colin Miller near the blue line, chased down the ricochet, and beat Oettinger on the breakaway. Domi started the rally when the Blackhawks had 30 seconds of a power play on a 4-on-4. Kane was alone behind the net with the puck, slipped a pass to Domi for his 16th of the season. 5 minutes later, Domi stole a puck near center ice, going 2-on-1, and passed to Kane behind Oettinger for the easy goal. Kane beat Oettinger on the stick side again for the tying goal on a pass from Philip Kurashaw with 1:55 to play in the second. And the Blackhawks acquired defenseman Nikita Zaitsev and draft picks from Ottawa for future considerations. Chicago got a 2023 second-round pick and a 2026 fourth-round pick in exchange for taking on the remainder of Zaitsev's contract. The 31-year-old Russian is signed through next season and is a salary cap hit of $4.5 million. Chicago can send Zaitsev to another team before March 3rd, the trade deadline, or any other time over the next year. The Blackhawks play the second game of a 4-game trip Saturday in San Jose. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Overcast skies today with highs around 46. Winds out of the west 20 to 25 miles per hour. Lows level off around 21. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, high of 35. Mid-40s Saturday, mid-50s Sunday with a chance for scattered showers. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 45.
Hello again, everyone. This is Stu Ellis, swinging open the farm gate for you once again today. Well, the USDA, along with its risk management agency and the crop insurance program, we're all lined up and given a spanking like your mother would have when you uttered a dirty word during a Sunday sermon. The blistering came